Welcome. Take a seat. Anywhere is fine. You look like you've had a rough day. No offense intended. If you were looking for somewhere to take a load off, you've come to the right place. Unfortunately, thanks to a certain skeleton who fancies himself a comedian, I've had to implement an anti-loitering policy. And as this is a restaurant, I will have to insist that you order something if you intend to stay long. Very well. As long as I have your guarantee of patronage, there's no rush. Is there anything I can get you to start off? A glass of water. No worries. I don't touch the stuff myself, but I can certainly provide such a simple service. As a courtesy, I'll do you one better and include a copy of our menu with that glass, so that you'll be privy to your options when you decide you'd like something a bit more satisfying. I am nothing if not a professional and gracious host. I hope you find your starting beverage to your liking. Of course, the discerning palate would hardly be sated by water alone. Here in Snowdin, we find ourselves constantly surrounded by this stuff, even if it comes in more of the frozen variety than otherwise. Quite frankly, there aren't many monsters here who haven't grown to detest it. Fortunately, I have a steady supply of beverages delivered to my establishment from the capital, New Home. Say what you want about those city folk, but I genuinely believe the product speaks for itself. If you'd like, I could go over some of those beverages for you, and you can decide if you'd like to order one. Very good then. This first one is actually not from the capital, but is delivered to us from the Spider Bake Sale, which has a couple of locations, primarily in Hotland, and supposedly also in the ruins. The name of the drink says it all, honestly. The concoction Spider Cider is noted for the smooth, elegant spice of a cider mixed with the alarming, gut-wrenching flavor of spiders. According to the label, the cider is squeezed from whole spiders, not just the juice. Not quite to your taste? Fair enough. I'll move on to the next. We also have sea tea, a favorite of a certain elderly tortoise living out in the waterfalls. The bottled stuff is mostly just artificial sweeteners, artificial flavors, artificial water, and artificial glass. But supposedly the real stuff is brewed from real, glowing marsh water. It has a tangy, sharp taste to it that is muted by an earthy undertone. If that does not catch your fancy either, we could move on. Next we have Monster Candy Ale, which is a liquefied version of a popular treat from the ruins. It has a very distinct flavor that is very much not licorice. Honestly, that's the only way I can describe it. Imagine something that doesn't taste like licorice. That's probably what it will taste like. Now I must warn you, it does have trace amounts of alcohol present, which means a responsible customer will only take one, right? Lastly, we have crab apple juice, which is made from a crustacean-shaped fruit that grows out in the waterfalls. Similar to sea tea, this drink has a tart kick to it, but is followed by a healthy disposition that has been known to ward off doctors if consumed once every 24 hours. Well, that is all for our beverages currently in stock, and contrary to what a certain skeleton might tell you, ketchup bottles are not included on our drink menu. So, have you settled on any of our options? Ah, an excellent choice. Coming right up. Here we are. Enjoy. Now, have you taken a moment to peruse the list of entrees on page 32 of our menu? Not yet? Well, there's plenty of time. I'd be more than happy to go over some of those as well, if you'd like. Certainly. In that case, allow me to direct you towards our first item. Several of our customers are quite enamored with the dog salad, a rather unique dish with numerous possibilities. If you'd like to test the consequences of fate, you're welcome to dig into a dog salad and discover the secrets within. Bones, fried tennis balls, or just plain garbage can all be found and consumed to your heart's content, and... that one does not appeal? It's fine, we have quite a few other options. We also have a classic favorite, instant cup noodles. The name is almost entirely accurate, as these noodles can be prepared effortlessly in a matter of minutes, leaving you plenty of time to ponder your next great invention, or the romantic subplots of your favorite anime. We also have an egg and spinach quiche pie. We added this item to our menu in honor of the abandoned quiche out in the waterfalls that is, to this day, awaiting its owner. This plate, while often described as toasty and flavorful, is also blamed by a number of our residents for their sudden development of acute trust issues. Our establishment does not accept responsibility for any psychological damage caused by consumption of our food. Our next dish is a bit less intimidating. The highly popular Glam Burger is a sandwich originally sold only at the MTT Resort in Hotland. After some shady backroom deals with one of the establishment's representatives, we acquired the rights to serve them here as well, as many of our patrons are Mettaton fans. The burger is rather flashy from a visual standpoint, as it is made from edible glitter and sequins. In terms of taste, it is a bit bland, with hints of glue flavoring, and can really only be commended for its fashionista sensibility. Our last main plate of the day is actually brought to us from a small business out in the Hotland. These hot dogs are slightly less popular with several of our patrons due to the misconception that the meat is processed from actual dog. Fortunately, this is not the case, as they are actually made from something called a water sausage. Aside from being vegetarian friendly, these hot dogs can also double as a lightweight and practical form of headgear, suitable for any of life's challenges. Well, do any of these items suit your fancy? Certainly. I'll pass it along to our chef, and have that ready for you shortly. In the meantime, please feel free to relax and enjoy the atmosphere. In the pursuit of suitable small talk, have you any news from outside of Snowdin that you would like to share? I've been here a long time, and I've seen my fair share of strangeness pass through here. But the majority of our life here is tedium at best. Take, for instance, that dog seated over there. That excitable fellow has been coming in here every day for years now, and plays poker against himself each and every time. I don't think I've seen him win a single game. A good thing, too, I suppose. If he did win, I'd probably have to replace my ceiling. The point is, most of the folk here in Snowdin are fairly content to find a pattern and stick to it. Very rarely does anything noteworthy or life-changing take place here, but some of us remain optimistic that it won't be this way forever. Even if our king's efforts to lead us past the barrier and out of the underground do not come to fruition, perhaps someone else will come along to change our lot in life for the better. Of course, nothing will ever happen from just sitting around here and listening to a jaded old bartender. I don't mean to suggest anything. Just a thought. It looks like your order is ready. Here you are. Prepared to perfection. I hope you find it to your liking. And if you think you'll have any room left over, I can also direct you to page 236 of our menu, where our dessert items are located. We have a variety of sweet selections that will add the perfect conclusion to any meal, such as our starfait, a delectable frozen treat made out of sparkling stars. Another MTT Resort original, this dessert is known to boost viewership ratings each and every time it is advertised. We also have Spider Donuts, provided to us by the Spider Bake Sale for distribution. These light snacks each come with a Muffet certificate of authenticity, stating that the dough was handmade by spiders, for spiders, out of spiders. Truly the stuff of nightmares. Also, as a personal question, do you prefer butterscotch or cinnamon? Fair enough. You wouldn't turn your nose up at the alternative if presented, would you? Well, we also have an excellent butterscotch pie, which also contains cinnamon. A secret favorite of one of our skeleton patrons, you can almost taste the motherly love in each slice, as well as the relief that it does not contain snails. Our last dessert is an item highly recommended to anybody who needs a pick-me-up at the end of their meal. Nice cream is provided to us by a rather optimistic blue vendor who, despite the cold outside, refuses to give up his passion of selling complimentary confections. By complimentary, I do not mean to suggest that they are free, so much as they will literally compliment you upon completion. Each nice cream wrapper contains a supportive, pleasant observation designed to brighten up anyone's day. So, do any of these appeal to you? That is certainly understandable. Your entree does seem to be a bit much, so I wouldn't expect you to have any room left over. That is certainly fine, no apology necessary. Do you wish to finish your meal here, or would you like me to have the rest boxed up for later? No problem at all. Very well. With that concluded, here is your check. Will you be paying with cash, or...
It's okay, Grillbs. Just put it on my tab.
Ah. Very well, Sans. Please do consider paying it at some point, though.
Sure thing, buddy. Hey, kiddo. Sorry to interrupt you, but, would you mind stepping outside with me for a minute? So, hey, I'm really sorry to bother you about this, but, I think we should talk. You've been, taking it, slow and easy this time around, huh? I mean, you didn't have to deal with Papyrus's puzzles or attempts to capture you this time. Honestly, he's too confused to do much about it right now. But, don't you think you should get a move on at some point? It isn't like I don't enjoy having you here, Frisk. And even if he can't really remember the other timeline, part of Papyrus really missed you too. But, well, have you ever heard of the butterfly theory? Usually one attributes that sort of thing to time travel, which isn't really the same thing, but I don't know. I'm just sort of worried, you know? If you do too many things differently, you might not find yourself able to achieve the same conclusion. And if you have to keep resetting, then that's not a life anybody should have to live. Look, just be careful, alright? If anything seems too different, come and tell me, and... Huh? Something already was? What was... Oh. Oh boy. If the flower didn't meet you in the ruins, then that means... Frisk, I think you should go. You shouldn't keep the prince waiting.